In this podcast, we are going to analyze the novel The Sacred Freedom, which was designed to explain, in other words, the Six-Day War. So we are going to read part of it and explain some sentences to be more clear. So the first part, we have, in fact, 5 parts. So each one of them represents a finger. The whole novel represents the hand. So the concept and the symbol is, what about the hand of God? And the point is that we can believe in the hand, but we can be the fingers. So the fingers together are working like a hand, which is a symbol of the story, and of course, the substrate of the history. The first attack was a subterfuge, but not a stratagem, because the substrate was fake. Maybe this sentence is strange, but if you consider that the starting point of the conflict was on the other side, I mean, not Jordan, but Egypt. The idea is that Egyptians gave wrong data to Jordan. So they start with this kind of attack against Jerusalem. So in the novel, we will see always the expression old city. The use of this kind of deception was irrelevant in the context of that time. So it was a process of deception in this war, but the ally of the initiative was not aware about the whole context. This error became the starting point of the liberation. So it was not a problem of liberation. It was just how to defend a position, the starting point. But at that time, it was unpredictable. So in fact, no one could predict the end of the war after 6 days, and of course, the result. At the beginning, it was just an ineffective attempt to create a new front on the other side with the use of another state, which was considered as a puppet. That's the point. It was not exactly an ally. It was like a puppet in a kind of proxy war on the other side. So East, West, Jerusalem. But the confusion made mistakes. So the initial confusion created a framework of many little mistakes, and together they create an error. There were no decisive elements. This point is at the level of tactics and, of course, logistics. This point conducted to a counterattack, and this one to an opening for the next step, which was, at that moment, totally unbelievable. So the opening is like in chess. We have a new chessboard, the enemy made the first move, you have to answer. And when you answer to that, you can't believe that your defense will have this result, but you have to do it. So they did it. The faith came after, when the occasion was transformed by serendipity. The point is, you remember that serendipity is when you find something that you don't search. So nobody wanted at that time to get this result. Even with victory, I mean, it was just another front. It was just a little proxy war in a small war, few days. But it was sufficient to have a flashing point and to get another history. So the point was that faith, when you have faith, you can imagine that when you have a moment of serendipity, you can get the new fact and use it. The chessboard was ready, and it was necessary to answer the first move. Even if this one wasn't really prepared, it created the path, and the light did the rest. So imagine that you have the black, the starting point was made by the white, and after that, after your defense, you see that something is possible. But you see that because you have faith. The goal wasn't clear at the initial point. It was only a self-defense, a reaction, but after it became a target to get to the sacred freedom. So the freedom is the point. It's not a matter of peace at that moment. The problem is freedom, just freedom. So with this first move, we have the creation of the path. And at the end of this path, we have the sacred freedom.